All right, welcome to Frank Teaches DevOps. Yes, my lovely viewers, thank you for your support so far. So we have a new video in our series, which is Ansible Vault. All right, Ansible Vault. And what is Ansible Vault? Vault, as we all know, is a place where you tend to keep something secret. You tend to keep something confidential, right? So that in general terminology of a vault is keeping something secret, right? So now, but in the context of Ansible, right? So we want to see what Ansible Vault is. An Ansible Vault is a feature of Ansible that helps to encrypt confidential information without compromising security. Okay, so we are going to see at the key benefits. All right, the key benefits of Ansible Vault, and that will take us to the next chapter. But you all understand now what Ansible Vault is. Ansible Vault is a feature of protecting, all right, or keeping safe your confidential information like passwords, keys, database password, database token, or as the case may be. All right. So with that, in Ansible, you use what the Ansible Vault to keep it secure. All right. So now let's get to the next chapter and see why we need Ansible Vault and other setup that comes along with Ansible Vault. Now, the next question is why Ansible Vault? Now, the idea of you writing Ansible roles, Ansible playbooks, your Ansible scripts, is for you to be able to um, save it in a distributed style, in a distributed way, um, on a version control. All right. So let's say, for instance, in this situation, I have GitHub. Okay, I have a GitHub, and in our organization, we have written Ansible scripts, right? We've written Ansible scripts. Let me give you a different color. We've written Ansible scripts, and we need to save these Ansible scripts on the version control. This is version control. Okay, change the color as well. So we need to put this guy on version control. We need, let me use appropriate. All right, so we need to save our Ansible scripts on GitHub, right? So that other team members can have access to the Ansible script. Okay, but now we are concerned that our Ansible script has some sensitive information like sensitive information like um, passwords, keys, uh, tokens, tokens, and DB names, DB names, etc., etc. So these information, we have them as part of our scripts, and we don't want to, commit these guys to GitHub. Okay, then we can use Ansible Vault What Ansible Vault will do, Ansible Vault is going to, to encrypt, it will encrypt all of these contents without compromising security. So with Ansible Vault, we would be able to encrypt our passwords, our keys, our tokens, our DB names, all right, without compromising security. Once all of these are encrypted, we can now comfortably, without fear, all right, commit our scripts into GitHub. That is why we need an Ansible Vault, all right? An Ansible Vault helps to protect confidential information, confidential data, all right, by encrypting them. Now, still on that, we shall look how to encrypt and decrypt these contents. This file that has sensitive data, all right, we shall see how to encrypt them and at the same time see how to decrypt them with Ansible Vault. And when you start using Ansible Vault to perform encryption, Ansible Vault is going to ask for a vault password. It's going to request for a vault password. All right. So each time you try to use the Ansible Vault, it always requests for a vault password. But when we get to this other part, which is creating vault password file, um, we will see how to create a vault password file so that whenever we are using Ansible Vault command, we don't get to be asked the password every now and then. All right. So without without further ado, let's look at how to implement Ansible Vault to our secret file. All right. So now here's my environment. So in this environment, I have the following. I have an inventory file and I have a playbook. So this is just a simple playbook, all right? Simple playbook. Let's see the content of the playbook. So this playbook is just to host web. It's just to display a message, all right? So this message. So now the password is secret. So what I'm doing there is what I've used there is variable. All right. Maybe in our next video, I shall take us through the path of Ansible variables. Okay. But today, just bear with me. So this is how you call a variable. All right. You call a variable, and the variable name secrets is just a name. It holds a data, a value. And that value is what we want to encrypt. The value is what we want to encrypt. So this is just a file. So the password is that. We don't know what that value is. So now let's check the variable file. So if I check my directory, the variable files is under groups under vals and all the YAML. I'm going to tell us. So this is the file that has my secret content, my key passwords, my token, my database name, as the case may be. All right. Now, in creating variables, which, like I promised, I'm going to show us in our next series, in our next video. All right, our next video. Ansible has a unique way of creating variables, and one of those unique way I'm using here in Ansible Vault is group underscore vars. All right. So now it's a keyword. That word is a keyword. It's not just ordinary directory. This directory I created, group underscore vars. So it means that in this directory, I'm going to be saving all my variables, all of my variables I'm going to use. All right, my variable files, sorry, my variable files. I'm going to be saving them under group underscore vars. And the file name that is going to have these secret data, this confidential data, must be named as all.yaml. You can't name the file any other name. It has to be underline the word all. So the file name has to be called all.yaml. So this is a convention that Ansible uses for variable naming. All right. So I think we all get the whole picture. Then let's also check the inventory. We've seen the video on inventory, just simple. All right. So what this thing will do for me is, so I want to run this command. So I want to get the contents of this guy. So Ansible inventory followed by playbook, playbook.yaml. So if I hit enter, oh sorry, what am I missing? Okay, then the host name, sorry, the host name. Oh, what am I missing again? hmm Sorry, sorry. I was missing something. Ansible, playbook, playbook dash I inventory and playbook. All right. So now we're not getting the message, all right? The task, which is display message, right? The password is this. Now let's check the content of the playbook. So the content of the playbook and the task name is display message, and the message is displaying. The password is this secret, all right? So we are going to see this secret here. And then if I check the content of that file, all we have the secret. Now, on a more general note, all right, generally, if we do away security, all right, I can just do a GitHub, git push, and push this my Ansible script, push this Ansible script I've written to a GitHub repository. But once that is done, we can't undo it because there are bots on GitHub. There are bots that picks content automatically. All right. So to avoid all of that, we use Ansible Vault to encrypt this content. Okay. So we're going to use Ansible Vault to encrypt the content. So from what we have here, we've seen the purpose of Ansible Vault, why we need Ansible Vault, and we want to see how to encrypt the content of the file, of our secret file. Okay, so using Ansible Vault, I'm going to introduce one important command, which is the Ansible Vault command, which we've not seen for since we started the Ansible program. Okay, so that command will enable us to encrypt the content of our secret file. So the content of our secret file is under groups underscore vars and slash all on YAML. Okay, so I'm going to use a command called Ansible dash vault and a keyword called encrypt. Encrypt. Then the file name, just simple command, then the file name. So this is it. So this guy is going to encrypt this file. So let's see something. So if I hit enter, it's going to request for a vault password. All right. So I'm keeping it simple. My password is 12, enter 12. Now it will tell me to display a message that encryption was what? Successful. So now let's check the content of this file and see. So if I do a cat or.yaml, you can see that I have Ansible has successfully encrypted the content of that file. We can't see this file now. Now, at this point, it is very safe, right? At this point, comma, it is very safe to commit your Ansible script to any version control. In as much as you have encrypted the content, is now safe. All right. Now, let's say for instance, now I need to add, because I can't see what I encrypted. Okay, I can't see it anymore. I can't see. So now let's try to run the same command and see what happens. So if I run the same command, Ansible playbook dash I inventory, then my playbook. Let's see what happens. Now we're going to have an error. The error because of is requesting for the password, vault password, but you can't get the password. Now you're saying what? Attempting to decrypt, but no vault secret found. No vault secret found, right? Because this guy has already been encrypted. So for that, we need to pass another parameter to request for the vault password. So I will recall this and I'll say dash dash ask vault pass. So this parameter will request for that vault password. Are you seeing it now? So with this parameter, we'll be able to pass that vault password to decrypt this encrypted file. So look at what it says, attempting to decrypt, but no vault secret found. So it uses that vault password to decrypt the content and pass the variable. All right, so that Ansible will see it, and the password is 1 2, and you can see. So now it's now running. So I can see that the password is what, Frank at 123. Take note, guys. Take note. So this is the whole play. Ordinarily, I can't run this like this once the file has been encrypted with Ansible Vault, because it's requesting for what, a password to decrypt it. It has to decrypt it to plain text. Ansible has to decrypt the file, decrypt the encrypted text into a plain file and pass it to the variable. All right. But now, for Ansible to do that, Ansible requires a password, which is a vault password. And there is no way Ansible can get that vault password except you pass a new parameter. We are looking for one way, a new parameter. So that parameter is dash dash ask vault pass. So with this, to give me option to input my password and enter, Ansible will be able to decrypt the encrypted file into plain text and pass that to the variable, and it's now being displayed. So that is that way. All right. Now, assuming I need to add more, more, what's it called? More secret contents, all right, to my secret file. Like I need to add passwords, I need to add more keys, I need to add more tokens. How do I do that? Should I decrypt it, go into it, make the modification and encrypt it again? Or that's one option though, but there is one other option, which is Ansible Vault Edit. So we can actually edit this file. So there's a command called Ansible Vault Edit, then the file name. So once I use this, it will also request for a password. Now, edit is doing two things. Edit is one, decrypting is decrypting the content, and two is enabling you to see the plain text, all right, and make your changes. Okay, so if I put the password, now I can now see the content of what I encrypted. All right, so now I need to add database db name. Let's say or db user. So it's a confidential thing. Db user can say Frank. I need to add key. Let's say user db user key, db user db user key. Okay, and say for this as the case may be. All right, I'll escape, save and quit. The moment I exit from this file, Ansible will decrypt the file again. I've exited. All right. Now, if I check the content of that file, let's check group all. You see that this file is encrypted. All right, it's encrypted. But we've edited it. We've added some content. We've changed some content. Right. So okay, let me change the password again. Let me go back. Ansible, so that we'll see what's really changed. Ansible Vault edit group all 1 2. So let me change this password to frank at 123 at 456 at 789. All right, so let's save. Okay, so now if I now say Ansible playbook dash I inventory, then the playbook name. It definitely asks for password. Asks vault pass. So vault pass is one. So once this guy runs, you see that the password was actually edited. All right, you can see how I edited it. So this is one way. All right. Now the other way is by using the decryption method. All right. So I need to decrypt this file. So if I check the file again, group all is still encrypted. So it uses this AES encryption, and the encryption bit is 256. So AES is a symmetrical encryption algorithm. All right, it's a symmetrical encryption algorithm. All right. So now this guy is still encrypted. So how do I decrypt it? It's simple. Ansible Vault decrypt. Then the file name group all. It will request for the vault password. 1, 2, decryption was successful. So if I check the file now, I will see that I have these guys decrypted. All right, I have this guy decrypted. So far so good. We've seen why we use Ansible, and we've also seen encrypting the Ansible sensitive file, all right, the sensitive file we need, and also decrypting the sensitive file, all right. Then finally, we want to see how to create vault password file. I don't like Ansible requesting. Let me encrypt again. Ansible vault encrypt this file. It's asking for password 1212. Okay, great. What else? If I check this file now, you see that it has been encrypted. It's now encrypted. Now, if I need to run some command, playbook, I need to run my playbook. I inventory, then followed by my playbook. Oh, sorry. It will always ask for this vault password. So if I don't give that password, I can't. Ansible can't decrypt the secret. So it will fail. Definitely the command will fail. All right, the execution will fail. But again, I don't like imputing this vault password. So what do I do? So we are going to create a vault password file, right? We're going to create a vault password file and pass that vault password file and use a new parameter to pass that password file. So now let's do something now. Before we do that, let's see how we can randomly generate some passwords, all right? Some complex password, because it wouldn't make sense I use easy password, all right? Because all we are doing, we have to put in mind security. So this is what I would do. Linux has a feature called OpenSSL. So with OpenSSL, I can randomly generate some passwords. So I'll say OpenSSL run dash hex. Hex means hexadecimal. Hexadecimal, which is what, base 16. So run it up. Give me a set of 32-bit characters, all right? 32-bit characters. So I'll put it like this. So this command will automatically generate me random characters. I can use this as my password. Again, I can still use OpenSSL and still run. And this is based on hexadecimal, all right? Now I can use base 64. Base 64, oh, sorry, 12. Base 64 to generate these passwords. All right, to generate random passwords. But as we all know, base 64 is always is easily decrypted. All right, and this kind of password being generated by OpenSSL don't have the conventional base 64 style of output. You know, every base 64 comes with equal to. All right, let me show up something now. So if I say let's say echo red hat, and um let me see base 64 encode. Wait, let me see. Okay, just one sec. Just one sec. So echo, then the password name. Let's say the password is frank at 123. Okay, then pipe it to what base 64. So if I hit enter, so you see that once you see this double equal to, all right, it tells anybody who understands encryption or understand algorithms, all right, encryption algorithms, will come to know that this encryption is based on base 64 algorithm, right? So it means that anybody can decrypt this stuff. So what I will do, this the password is frank at 123. So the person will just grab this string. The person will grab this string and go online and look for base 64 online decrypt decoder. Um base 64 online decoder. So it will just look for that decoder. Very simple. I've copied it, paste the string here, paste the string and decode. You should get the password here. Can you see? The password is what? Frank at 123. So be very mindful of how you use base 64. Okay? How you make use of what? Base 64. Then we also have on Ubuntu system, all right, we have a utility called password gen. Okay, it's not installed. So password gen is not installed. So let me try installing it. Sudo apt install password gen. So password generator is a utility on Ubuntu system that generates random passwords. So password gen followed by let's say 16 bits and let's say one of these. All right, let me do something. Okay, if you need two of that, I just need one set of the string. So one set of the string, I just need that, right? So it also gives you random characters, all right, alphanumeric, okay, alphanumeric. But let's just keep it simple. I want to use OpenSSL random. It has to be hexadecimal and then 16 bits. So now, okay, so I need to redirect this file into a file called vault pass. Uh, vault password. So this is my password file. Like we are getting started here, creating vault password file. So this is my vault password file, all right? So I have redirected that content into the file. So if I check, I have this. So if I cut it now, vault pass, I have my password. So now that I have my password, my what's it called, vault password file, I want to go back to encrypt my secret content with that vault password and pass that vault password file to the encryption algorithm. So this is what I will do. I'll say Ansible Vault, encrypt, encrypt, encrypt what? Group and all, dash dash, vault dash password. So now vault dash password dash file. So my password file now, my password is inside of my password file. So every time I need to run a command, Ansible will go into that file, pick the password, and decrypt the encrypted secret. So password file is this. So take note. So this is the command. So ordinarily before we were running just this without this part, right? Just only this part. It will request for password, but I don't want to be asked. I don't want Ansible to be asking me of that password, right? So I just want everything to be automated. So with that, I'm using a vault password file, and my password file and my password is inside of this password file. All right. So I will hit enter. So the input is already encrypted. All right. So let me decrypt. Let me decrypt, and then because it's you can see is already encrypted, right? So let me decrypt this and re-encrypt again. So I'll say Ansible Vault decrypt this, all right? So if you ask for that password 12, that's been decrypted. So now if I check it now, you can see it has been decrypted. So let me encrypt it now. So to encrypt it, I will say Ansible Vault and encrypt encrypt the file. That's a file. Dash dash vault password dash file followed by what? The password file. So take note. So this is it. So if I hit enter, automatically Ansible copies that password and pass it to standard input. All right, and pass it on standard input. And with the it's not telling me that encryption was well successful. So if I check the file now, on, I would see that it has been encrypted. So if I try to edit Ansible or not even edit, Ansible playbook dash inventory, then my playbook. Before, without this vault password, it keeps asking us for that password where we use the parameter of dash dash um ask password. What was that parameter again? Ask vault pass. Ask vault pass. All right. But this time around, we don't need all of this. Once we hit enter, everything will be done automatically. Oh, sorry. I need to specify the file. All right. I need to reference the file. So by referencing the file, I will say dash dash vault password file. Then I will specify the file. All right. So I'll specify the file. You can see. So it's now using the password file to decrypt and run the entire command. So that's all for Ansible Vault, guys. All right. So you see how interesting Ansible Vault is. So whenever you are in your organization and you are asked to um, you are asked to set up or you've set up some Ansible scripts, and the script contains some confidential data like key, like passwords. Always remember to make use, and you need to push, and you need to make a commit to a GitHub repository, right? As it is in this diagram, and you need to make a commit to GitHub repository for a distributed access. Make sure to use Ansible Vault to encrypt the content of the sensitive file. I think that has been this section has been very, very informative. And I thank you. I thank you for your support, and I thank you and see you in our next video series. Thank you.